Hello, this is Cathy Cassidy and I'm here to read you another chapter of SUNDAE Girl. And today, as I'm recording this, it's bitterly cold, so I've pulled a bit of a shawl around me, and it was actually snowing outside behind me. I don't know if it's going to carry on snowing while I'm reading, but who knows. I'll show you the top of the chapter. It's the pink Cadillac from the front of the book. And this is chapter 24. We've done the Birmingham change and we've been on the Carlisle train for ages. I've tried praying for snow on the line, engine trouble, signal failure, earthquake. Nothing happens. We stop at Lancaster and I think about making a run for it, but hey, Mum would probably carry on without me. If I had a mobile phone, I could call home, speak to Grandad, find out what is going on. I could call Dad and Victoria, tell them, warn them. I could do something. Toto knows I'm upset and rests his head in my lap. I feed him slivers of ham from my sandwich, crusts and crisps, squares of chocolate. I stroke his silky crimped ears while Mum sips mini bottles of wine from the buffet car and flicks her silver lighter, trying to get it to fire up and light her ciggy. Think I need a new one, she grumbles. It's useless, this. The lighter flares up suddenly, igniting her ciggy and almost setting her fringe alight. Stupid thing, she moans. The man across the aisle leans over and tells her that smoking is not allowed on any part of the train. Mum tells him to mind his own business, but she puts the ciggy out anyway after a couple of puffs. I'm not bothered anyway, she says. We're nearly there. Why are you doing this, Mum? I ask her. What will Dad and Victoria think? Who cares, Mum snaps. It's a free country. I can go wherever I want. But why would you want to go to Dad and Victoria's wedding? Mum just smiles, drains her plastic glass and leans her head back against the headrest. Sadly, there are no earthquakes and the train rolls into Carlisle dead on time. We grab our stuff and spill out onto the platform, and Toto lifts his leg and pees against the train. Dad and Victoria are waiting on the platform, faces creased with anxiety. Dad is wearing his black fringy catsuit and Victoria is turning heads in a turquoise mini dress. Jude, Dad yells. Jude, over here. We've been worried sick. He wraps me in a quick rhinestone-studded hug. Are you okay, sweetheart? He whispers. She's drinking again, isn't she? What a nightmare. Why on earth didn't you say something, Jude? Dunno, I say. I stayed silent because that way I could pretend it wasn't happening, and also because I didn't want the worry, the shame of it all, to seep out, spoiling Dad and Victoria's special time. Oh, Jude, Dad says. Then he looks at Mum and his face hardens. Rose, he says, what the hell is going on? She tries to flounce straight past, but Dad catches her arm and pulls her round. It's like pulling the string on a party popper. She explodes just as loud, just as colourful. She's shouting at Dad, swearing at him, telling him to leave her alone. Victoria puts an arm around me gently, pulling me and Toto to one side. Sorry, Victoria, I mutter. I did try to stop her. Jude, it's not your fault. It'll be okay, you'll see. Right now, though, I don't think that anything will be okay again. Not ever. Don't you ever think of anyone except yourself, Dad is shouting. 12 years on and you're still playing games, still telling lies. It's pathetic, Rose. I'm not playing games, she argues. No, Dad says coldly. Patrick called us at the hotel. You told him the exam venue had changed and left him standing on his own outside a deserted church hall in Earlsdon. He waited an hour, Rose, before he realised you'd just spun him a line. He's been worried sick. A clump of people have stopped to watch the row. They seem to think it's some kind of performance art or street theatre. What are you staring at? Mum shouts at them, and they grab their bags and hurry away. I wish I could do that. I wanted to bring Jude up to Scotland, she flings at Dad. Is that so bad? She's my daughter. So act like a mother then, Dad snaps. Act like a daughter. You can't just go telling lies and changing plans and scaring everybody half to death. Don't you realise that? I'll call Dad, Mum says grudgingly. I was going to, obviously. Yeah, obviously. What are you doing here, Rose? It was all over between us years ago, you know that. What's this all about? Mum just laughs. You think it's all about you, don't you, she says. You think I've come all this way to stop you from marrying that bank clerk. Don't flatter yourself, Bobby. You are history. So what are you doing here? Dad persists. I told you, Mum says coldly, I'm looking after my daughter. You expected her to travel up here alone in the middle of the night. I don't think so. We had it all arranged, Dad protests. Patrick was taking her as far as Birmingham. We were meeting her here. And anything could have happened in between, Mum rages. She's only 13, for heaven's sake. What kind of a father are you? Dad looks embarrassed and guilty. Well, it wasn't an ideal arrangement, but... Look, Bobby, Mum says in a martyred tone. I thought I was doing everyone a favour, looking after Jude. I'm not interested in your wedding. Tomorrow I'm planning to see an old friend who lives up this way, Gina. I'll stay out of your way, don't worry. On Sunday morning, I'll take Jude home. Gina? Dad frowns, glancing at me. I shrug. I've never heard of her either. She used to work at the Irish Centre in Coventry years ago, Mum snaps. She moved to Scotland. Look, Bobby, I may not have gone about this the right way, but Dad's been such an old fusspot lately, ever since... She trails off abruptly, unsure of whether my dad has been told about the police cell incident. Well, anyway, I was only trying to do the right thing for Jude, okay? And have a little break for myself too. I didn't mean to worry everyone. Dad sighs. You'll call Patrick then, he says. Of course. Look, I've misjudged things, I can see that, but I didn't mean to upset anybody, really. I'm trying to help. Dad's got enough on his plate looking after Mum without running around the country, making sure Jude gets to your wedding. But when I suggested helping out, he got all huffy, so I told him a little white lie about the exam venue to put him off the trail. I'm just trying to do my bit, honestly. By lying to everyone and worrying them all sick? Yeah, right. Mum looks shamefaced. I'm sorry, she says. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Do the good mum-daughter thing and see Gina too. Don't worry, I'll stay away from the wedding. Trust me, it's really not my scene. Well, Dad says, I suppose, if you'd just explained. We were worried, that's all, Victoria says. Mum's lip curls into a sneer and she looks at Victoria as if she's a large, unpleasant, turquoise-coloured slug. So, Mum says, where do we get the connection to Gretna Green? Dad rolls his eyes. Rose, don't be silly. We're here to collect Jude. You may as well get a lift too. Mum looks unimpressed. What, in a pink Cadillac? How embarrassing. I hate flash cars. Still, if it's here... She snatches my hand and drags me up the stairs and over the bridge that leads to the exit, Toto lunging on ahead. Dad and Victoria trail along behind us, exasperated. Mum raises one unimpressed eyebrow at the pink Cadillac parked up behind the taxi rank, glinting and gleaming in the streetlights. How was the exam, Jude? Dad asks, unlocking the car. Did you play well? Good of you to ask, Mum says, even though she forgot to ask herself earlier. But then I forgot. You're only a part-time father, aren't you, Bobby? The piano exam seems like about 1,000,000 years ago, something from another lifetime. It was okay, I tell Dad in a small voice. Mum slides into the back seat. Toto and I scramble in beside her. Nice, she says. You certainly know how to live, Bobby. Of course, the money it's costing to hire this old crate could keep your daughter in piano lessons for a year. Dad sighs heavily. I'll talk to the hotel, he says. We've booked a twin room for Jude just along the corridor from us. They'll probably let you stay too if I explain things. You'll probably have to sneak Toto in though. Toto, hearing his name, starts to whine. Is he okay? Victoria asks as Dad starts the engine and slides the pink Cadillac out into the traffic. The dog? I don't know, I mumble. It was a long train journey. And Toto, who has spent the last few hours eating crisps and crusts, ham and chocolate, moans gently and pukes all over the candy-coloured carpet. Oh, Toto, not in the lovely pink car, Mum croons. Naughty. But when I look at her in the dark, I can see she's grinning, like it's the funniest thing she ever saw. So, things are definitely hotting up plot-wise. Please come and listen in tomorrow to find out what happens next. You will not be disappointed, I promise. And until then, stay safe and keep smiling. I will see you soon.